Command Point now has merch. Link in the description. Hey everybody, it's Ryan from Command Point here, and today Warhammer Community has dropped the newest balance data slate for Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team. Today being August 8th, 2023, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at all of these changes. So the first set of changes that we have here are for the Pathfinder kill team, which is pretty interesting. They've kind of been out of like competitive play for a while now, ever since like Felgor and Chaos Cult have come out. So they add the following to the Kayan Art of War ability. In addition, once in each of their activations, friendly Pathfinder operatives can perform a mission action or the pickup action for one less action point to a minimum of 0 AP. So that's a nice buff. And close quarters, so each friendly Pathfinder operative can perform the guard action while it has a conceal order. If it does, interrupt as normal, but instead of making a guard attack, it can only perform the marker light action, if able. Alright, so next it looks like we have some more changes to Warp Coven. I feel like these guys just got a bunch of stuff changed to them, but I guess we'll go ahead and take a look at these. Delete Sorcerer Operative's Rubric Command ability. Rubric Marine operatives gain the following ability, Sorcerer's Command, each time this operative is activated. If it isn't within 6 of a friendly Sorcerer operative, subtract 1 from its APL. Change Rubric Affinity Battle Honor to the following. Select one friendly Rubric Marine operative from your data slate. For the purposes of that operative Sorcerer's Command ability, this Sorcerer operative only needs to be in the kill zone instead of within 6. And then archetypes, recon or security, regardless of operative selected. So that's probably the biggest change right there to this team, and immediately makes them, I would say, playable in a tournament. Being chained to either one of those because of how many Zangors or Rubric Marines you were taking was kind of silly. And, nothing else in the game really had anything like that, like a restriction like that. So I'm glad to see that they've opened up those archetypes to Warp Coven. Next, we have a change for Gellerpox Infected. So Rust Emanation Strategic Ploy while within engagement range of a friendly Nightmare Hulk operative only. Yeah, so that's a huge nerf to Gellerpox Infected, in my opinion, because previously with Rust Emanations, it was as long as any enemy operative was within engagement range of a Gellerpox infected operative, in that excluding the mutoid vermin. So yeah, big nerf for Gellerpox there. Honestly, that's like fine. I think that's a fair change. For the Elucidian Starstrider team, they Undaunted Explorer Strategic Ploy. The first time attack dice are resolved against it instead of each time it fights in combat or a shooting attack is made against it. And then damage halved to a minimum of 2, rounding up. The Hearthkin Salvager kill team got a bunch of changes to it. So add 1 to wounds characteristics of all operatives. Hearthkin Field Medic operative's Plasma Knife gains the lethal 5-up special rule. The Equipment Plasma Knife is 2 EP and it changes attacks characteristics to 4 and it gains lethal 5. Change Thayan operative's Eye of the Ancestors ability to once in each strategy phase. When you would use a strategic ploy or pass, you can select 1 enemy operative to gain a grudge token instead, or 2 enemy operatives if 3 or more friendly Hearthkin Salvager operatives are incapacitated. Yeah, so those are a bunch of good changes to the Hearthkin Salvagers. Hopefully that helps them out. The Felgor Ravagers. Incapacitating a Felgor Ravager operative with a Frenzy token, you add the following bullet point. Critical damage is inflicted on it in a shooting attack. And while a Felgor Ravager operative has a Frenzy token, it's ignored for the purposes of determining control, e.g. objective markers. So yeah, so frenzied Felgor Ravager operatives literally can no longer control objective markers. That change might be a little bit too strong. And then incapacitating a Felgor Ravager operative with a Frenzy token, add the following bullet point. Critical damage is inflicted on it in a shooting attack. So, whereas before you had to do damage to them in melee in order to put them down, I guess you can just shoot them and fish for crits. Chaos Cult has 4 different changes to it now, so this is honestly what myself and I assume you at home watching have been waiting for. The Iconarch operatives' Ruinous Deterioration and Ruinous Invigoration abilities become unique actions that cost 1 AP. They last until the start of the operative's next activation, and Ruinous Invigoration's damage reduction is to a minimum of 3 instead of 2. Great. Great stuff. I wanted all of that. Mutant and Torment operatives' Unnatural Regeneration ability. Ignore lost wounds on a 6 instead of a 5-up. Yeah, okay. I can see that. Sickening Aura Strategic Ploy while within 2 of a friendly Mutant or Torment operative only. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then Mutant Operatives' Blasphemous Appendages. Change special rule to Ceaseless instead of Relentless. Yeah, so big nerfs to Chaos Cult here. I mean, I think they're still great. You know, there's nothing here that makes it so that when you mutate, you like start at like a certain, like a capped amount of wounds instead of the full wounds from the mutation. They did not mess with the mutation characteristic at all. So maybe these changes to, it looks like just like their melee damage efficiency and their, I mean that 5-up pain turning to a 6-up, or excuse me, yeah, turning to a 6 feel no pain is a pretty big deal, as well as the Sickening Aura strat ploys being only available on Mutant or Torment operatives. So that means your Cultists, your Dark Coven operatives aren't going to be able to get that anymore, which is huge. So I'm interested to see where that team goes from here, because they were the big boogeymen, and now it's like, I don't know, I'll have to get them on the table again. The Inquisitorial Agent team has gotten some changes. For operative selection, including ancillary support, you can only select up to 2 operatives equipped with weapons that have the AP2 special rule, even if only in one of their profiles. So that's a big change. That's a team that could take a lot of high AP weapons. I think the plasma cannon on like the servitor was AP like 2, or it might even be AP 3. I haven't looked at the team in a while, but and then there's one model with the pistolier has that plasma pistol. So it really caps your AP here. That is an interesting nerf to the team. Interrogator and Tome Skull operatives change GA characteristic to 2, and they fulfill each other's group activation requirements. So every time you activate your Interrogator, you activate the Tome Skull, and vice versa. And then the Absolute Authority Tactical Ploy cannot be used to stop the same ploy more than once per battle. Okay. Or a ploy that no CP was spent on. Anyways, yeah. Overall, I think these are all pretty good changes. The only ones that really give me pause are for the Felgor Ravagers. You know, Frenzy was kind of like their whole thing, and they've really messed with that mechanic a lot. So I don't know if this team, I mean, I still think they're playable. You know, they have a lot of activations. They're a melee horde. So they benefit from that, but they lose a lot just by not being able to like control objectives if they're frenzied. Like, forget about the first bullet point. I think that second one is the big one that Felgor Ravagers are going to have to play a lot smarter with their models. Yeah, which I think overall is a good change for that team. They kind of have a reputation for being kind of just unga bunga and just like move up the board. So yeah, interesting changes all around. Really happy that Hearthkin Salvager's got a bunch of buffs. I think that kind of brings them up to par. And then the that Inquisitorial Agent, man, being only able to take 2 operatives, weapons that have the AP2 special rule, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how that affects that team. I think it's going to hurt them a lot. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think of these changes to Kill Team and all of these Kill Teams down in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the merch store if you want one of the new mugs that we've got or any of the other cool merch that we have over there. Special thank you to our Patreon supporters and our YouTube channel members. You know, without you guys and your support, it would be really hard for Shane and I to put out all these videos and, you know, invest all of this time and effort into making this content for you guys. But yeah, thank you all for watching and hope to see you all again in the next one.